Hi Mark, okay.
Yeah,
Do you need a reaction after, I think you suggested something of an indifferent display at the weekend?
well, we didn't hit the levels we thought we would. Given the circumstances of the game, obviously we thought we could have created more clear-cut chances. But it's difficult. Everybody knows that when a team goes down to 10 men, get two banks of four, and it's difficult to break them down. And we, for the most part, weren't able to create too many chances. Got the one, got back on double turns. From that point onwards, we looked more team as you would expect, a more likely team to get the win. But it wasn't to be. But I think we need to start a little bit brighter than we certainly did against Hull. Because if we do that, then our performance will be good, because we're always a better team when we play quickly and with a purpose and with a bit of pace in our movement and with our passing. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for improvement. It's early days. A number of the guys are at different levels in terms of fitness and the levels that we expect of them. And I've seen that in a number of teams at the beginning of the year. I think that's a little bit to do with the World Cup and people coming back at different times. So it's understandable to a certain extent, but obviously we want to get up to speed as quickly as we can.
You mentioned what you expect. There's also that expectation that you kind of built through what you did in the second half of that season.
We don't want that to go away. I think that's something that we were quite prepared to work with, and we don't want to dissipate too readily and too quickly, because I think that will help us along the way. But we want to get some positive performances and results. Results obviously key, but performances, if they could, then results follow in my view. So we need to make sure we're playing somewhere near to the high level that we produced at the end of last season, which was a really good standard. We're not there yet, but I think the game tomorrow night will help us in that regard. I think we need to get up to speed, and we've got a big game against Man City obviously on the weekend, which certainly will be a test for us. So I think these two games come at a good time for ourselves.
I think you said that you want your team to show a bit more intelligence, and at the risk of showing a lack of it on my part, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's football intelligence. It's an understanding of what's required given the circumstances you find yourself faced with, and we didn't really understand what was needed under those circumstances. We needed to get the ball out a bit quicker out wide. We needed to get around the back on more occasions. We need to be more decisive with our passes into front men as well. There are a number of things that we didn't really execute too well. So we're looking for improvement. It's about dusting ourselves down and getting rid of all the cobwebs that seem to have surrounded us a little bit from the pre-season, and get on with the business in hand, which is to win football matches.
I think it's right in saying that you had 3 shots on target at the weekend against
we had
10 men. Is that a worry?
Yeah. Well, no, you have to always factor in the opposition. They're not going to make it easy for you. We had something like 18 attempts, three were on target.
Even more of a worry then.
Yeah, but we had block shots. We had about 6 or 7 block shots. So we all down. We should have created more clear-cut chances, obviously. But credit to Hull on the day they fought hard. Obviously, we gave them a good start, so that made it even more difficult from our point of view, because they had something to protect and fight for. So that was probably a little bit of our own doing as well. We should have obviously stopped that situation developing as sort of what we did. So a number of things that we need to be a little bit tighter and a little bit more conscientious.
So what sort of an opportunity is this game against a side 50 odd places below you in the league?
Well, we'll continue to work on things that we feel we need to. Obviously, we'll make changes, but the squad is strong, and I've got a lot of depth at the moment, so we'll make changes, but always with the view that it's about giving the right team to win the game, because obviously we want to progress in this competition. It's important for us, and we'll try and do that. It's a game we won't take lightly. Portsmouth has started brightly in their league, and winning games obviously breeds confidence, so they'll come in with nothing to lose, so we have to be ready for it. But I think my guys are looking forward to the game. I think more often than not, when we have we're not too pleased about, I think we can improve on them. More often than not, I get reactions, so I'm looking for that again.
I think they've won 4 out of 4. They're in the top 10 of their league. First time they've been in that kind of position for about 6 years, I'm told. So, you know, they come here buoyant. Is this a dangerous one for you in some ways?
Well, it can be if you don't approach it in the right way, and I don't anticipate. I've obviously been with the guys today in training, and I see a real determination to get back on track and get back to where we need to be. And our focus will be solely on this game. Worry about Man City after this game is put to bed, but we never take any opposition lightly. It's all about matching effort and commitment, and if we do that, then I would like to think and expect that our quality will come through. So just about matching their qualities, which they undoubtedly have. And if we do that, then, as I said, we should win.
Just in terms of those changes you talked about, and Bojan started on the bench, that raised an eyebrow or two. Is this an opportunity for him to show a bit more of what he can do?
Well, he's got a bang actually, so we're going to have to check on him just to make sure he's okay. He's got a bang on his ribs towards the end of the game, so he did train today, so we'll check him again tomorrow, see how he is, but he's very keen to be involved. Obviously, it was my intention to start him, but we have to check him. The rest of the group is reasonably okay. Barnsley has got a bang on his knee, so we'll have to check him as well. Apart from Max, everybody else is available.
Just finally, we mentioned Shots the other day. Ryan Shotton, though, has headed to Derby. What's the thinking there?
Well, I think Ryan needs to move on in his career. I think he accepted that. So I had a conversation with him and just basically told him that I would find it very difficult to give him opportunities this year. I wasn't able to give them to him last year. And at this stage of his career, he needs to get out and play, be at a club where he's going to get more opportunities. And he understood that and agreed with that. And it's a good opportunity for him. He's gone to a good club that I feel certainly be trying to get in the Premier League this year. So Brian could obviously see that opportunity as well. So we wish him well. He's been a great lad who not caused me a moment's struggle. Being very professional, and we wish him well because he's got a real affection obviously for this club in the long term. So we wish him well in the rest of his career.
And I'm sure the fans would expect us to ask, is that the last to go? And the last, or is there any more likely to come through the other door?
No, we expect it to be very quiet. Yeah, we don't anticipate any outgoings or incomings. To be very honest, it might change, but as I said, in front of you today, I don't anticipate it.
Just continue with Ryan Shotton. He's one of the last to come out of the academy to go through. Are you under any pressure to try and push through any of the youngsters, considering the money that's been spent?
Yeah, well I think that's something that I would like to do. I've always tried to do that at previous clubs. We spent, you're right, the club spends a lot of money on facilities and infrastructure, but it takes time, and sometimes you have to invest in raw talent as well, which maybe in the past that hasn't been addressed. So I think that obviously in the future we'll try and bring good quality raw talent in so that we'll bring them through. It's been well, if you look at how many players have actually come through, it's not that many, it needs to be more, and that's the intention. Certainly in the future that we're able to bring through more players. We've got a fantastic academy, good coach in there, and there's no reason why we can't produce players.
Are there any close at all? I mean, I know it's putting pressure on kids if you start.
Well, we're hoping to involve maybe one youngster tomorrow night if we can. That's dependent obviously on injuries and who's available and who isn't. But we can give opportunities if the circumstances are right for the match itself and for the guy we have in mind.
Can I just clear something up from the weekend, if that's okay? The equaliser, Shawcross's equaliser. Do you know if the watch went off, saying?
Apparently so. It's not been confirmed by anybody, but that was my understanding. I think at the time. Actually, it's been confirmed because my assistant Mark went into the referee, and he said that usually when a goal is scored, he gets somebody to telling him in his ear that it's a goal, and then he looks at his watch and it's confirmed on his watch. None of that happened, apparently, so technology didn't really come to the fore, let us down somewhat. So thankfully, the linesman friend stood, was, I think, talking in his other ear, telling him that it was a goal, thankfully, which it clearly was, but it shows that technology isn't even found.
Does it concern you a little bit?
Well, a little bit, because I think we've been told that it's 99% sure, and we had a good year last year. A lot of decisions that were clarified because of it were shown to be good decisions. So I think the assumption was that we would never get anything wrong. So it just goes to prove that referees still have got to referee the situation, and if they see all of the line, they should make sure that they make that decision first and foremost, and not rely on the technology.
Mark, how important is a good cup run to you?
Very important. You've heard me say lots of times, many occasions, that it's important that we progress in competitions. We have a realistic chance of winning 2 competitions this year, the League Cup and the FA Cup, and that's what we want to do. We want to try and go as far as we can. Last year I showed, by virtue of the strength of the teams that I picked, that I was taking the competition seriously, and I think that's what I've always done, and certainly that's what we'll do tomorrow. I've intimated that we'll have a few changes. That's just because we've got a good squad and strength and depth, but the likelihood is that the team I pick will be all full internationals anyway, so there's no reason to think that we'll be weakened in any way.
The fans have experienced a final here before, and I'm sure they'd love that again, so...
Yeah, we all would. We can't make any promises, but our intention is to go as far as we can. Get a little bit of luck along the way in terms of draws, then you can go right through to cup finals and hopefully not meet too much Premier League opposition. So you still got to get the job done against lower league opposition, obviously, and that's what we'll strive to do tomorrow.
But you could use it as a confidence builder for the side tomorrow, couldn't you?
Well, I don't think we're flat on our heels because of a couple of performances. We have to accentuate the positive. I think this time of the year we got an away point, although it could have been 3, it was just the 1 in the end. So given our away form, it's a start. It's a point in our first away game, which obviously the away form we struggled with last year. So we're okay. It's early days. We know that we need to get better, and we will very quickly, I'm sure.
Mark, you had a good run in the Capital One last season, 3 good wins against, was it Walsall, Birmingham, Tranmere. Do you think that that helped kick-start last season, really?
Yeah, possibly. We got a little bit unlucky in the round that we got knocked out against Man U. I think if you recall the evening, it was a howling game in the first half, and we were up against it, and then lo and behold, we come back out for the second half, and the wind had gone, and it was all sweetness and light, and we didn't get the benefit of the conditions, which doesn't normally happen here, to be perfectly honest. But on the nights, United were better than us. We had to accept that. But certainly the early rounds, I think it just allowed me to get a real understanding of what I had in the building and what options I had. So from a personal point of view, in terms of my selections, the opportunity to play different people in the early rounds certainly helped me. So and I think, like you said, I think winning games breeds confidence anyway. So yeah, we certainly benefited from a decent run last year.
You're probably not going to tell me who you are going to be playing, but are there certain people who won't be in contention, like, say, Stephen Ireland and the like?
Yeah, Stevie's still not available, sorry, I didn't mention him. Yeah, he's still unavailable. Like I said, we'll check on Philip Barsley and Bourgeois tomorrow as well, and I'll make a decision on the ones I feel would be best maybe missing this one to make sure they're ready for the game.
Briefly on the whole game, although you didn't get a victory, one more victory I think you had was on Sartorial Elegance with you and Steve Bruce, who...
Thank you very much. It's last year's suit, I'm hoping for a new one. There you go.
We'll see how things go. But do you think it really matters? You know, because I mean, he did look like he just come from a jumble sale. It had to be sort of say, you know, it seems to work for him, but he couldn't get a bigger contrast, you and him.
There you go. It's not something. You know, maybe
I can see the point completely.
Yeah,
That's it.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
What side's that?